Ah, no. Hold on. Morning. So, today's the day. I believe we're about to be getting a Gleaner. Is the old man just so full of excitement he hasn't made it over here yet?
He had to go to town and get something for his grease gun.
Oh. So the Gleaner is going to get here just in time for wheat harvest. Yesterday, had some physical therapy, but while I was there, BJ and Dad got the grain cart hooked up, so it is ready to go. A lot of speculation if we were going to put it on the John Deere. Well, we've got some hours to kill on this lease, so we put the grain cart on the 1038. It's a better cart tractor, although this one would have looked pretty cool, I do believe. I think Dad still has to grease his combine, or this combine, and then it will be ready to roll. Has the right grates in it. Everything's been looked over on it. Should be good to go. BJ has assumed the position. It's actually the first time he's ran a Challenger in a while. He may be used to John Deere now. Does Challenger still make sense to you?
Yeah. What do you do to my air conditioner?
What do you mean what I do to it? This is the one Dad ran.
He said you told him it was screwed up when he got it.
It was. Oh. Well, it wasn't. They fixed it and it screwed up again. So on this cart we use the iFarm system. Looks like BJ's getting re-familiarized with it. This is our JM cart. So the way the scale system in this tractor works, there's a box bolted to the cart right there. And the iPad is in the cab reading the Bluetooth signal that that's sending. It's pretty nice, it's pretty straightforward, it's very simple. But it does have some issues. For example, there's a battery that sends that signal. Like just a little high-powered AA battery, and those are hard to come by, so I had to make sure those worked. At least that worked. Are you excited?
Yeah, see if this thing works. Get it on there.
Meant for the combine.
Huh?
Meant for the combine.
Oh, are they bringing it?
So while we're waiting on the Gleaner, do a little bit of maintenance to the yard here. Spray some of the weeds that are growing along the buildings. Well, looky there. Maybe she can hold the wand for me. Would make it a lot faster though. Do you want to hold my wand? What? Looks a little dirty in here.
Yeah. It's cold when we put it up, so we didn't clean it up. It needs it.
How's Mr. Jason?
Oh, doing good. Just out walking fields.
Yep. Children of the corn.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. So Jason is the AGCO agronomist. He's checking out the tillage plot and the crop tour plot. So this is your downforce plot on this bean tillage?
Yep. Yeah, this is our applied downforce map.
I think that would be a pretty interesting study to see that one when it comes to yield.
So this is the plot map here. We've got different tillage treatments going on. So conventional tillage with a coulter chisel, minimal tillage with vertical tillage, and then a cover crop. So if I go to the applied downforce map, you can just see all the differences. So when we were in the conventional tillage part of the field, we didn't have to apply near enough down pressure to maintain depth.
Then it's just solid 500 pounds.
This progression is different vertical tillage timings and depths, and you can just see how much the system had to adjust.
So that's probably about where that straight no-till is in that red, isn't
right
it?
Here, that's where we just ran the VT201 shallow last fall. All that red is where we had the cover crop, and it had to give it all it had to maintain seeding depth. So, I mean, it just shows like why hydraulic downforce is so critical and how tillage makes a big difference. So,
Libby, where you at? Here comes the combine. Where's Dax at? Oh my goodness, he missed the combine. Look here, coming in. Look here.
And go in the combine? Yeah, we'll probably second.
So if you're new to the channel, we ordered this combine over the winter and just now getting it. We're pretty excited. First new combine we've had in quite a while. First new Gleaner we've had in about 40 years. That feeder house sure looks smaller than the claws.
If you look at it at the right angle, it still looks smaller.
Yeah. So one thing it's going to take some getting used to, the feeder house is offset in the claw, so it'd be more right in the center of the cab. Just different design. So Jason, was it life-changing?
We didn't kill nobody.
How many garbage can you take out? Mailbox.
There's 3 mailboxes and 8 feet of garbage over here.
There's about to be a little black car on this side.
How you do that? I sure assume you can set the speed someplace.
I won't assume it's in the monitor, but...
Be a learning curve for all of us.
What are you talking about? Just like the one he had.
Just like it. Bring your son back down, I'll get going.
What was last year you'd have had a Gleaner?
90. I bought a new one at 80.
30 years ago. 31 years ago.
Well, this is the first new one we've got in 40 years.
Yeah. And the concept haven't changed a bit. Everything's just so much heavier.
Right.
Probably 10,000 pounds heavier, I bet.
Well, I would say that's probably the same for any combine from 1990 to now.
But I was telling Gordon, you know, they come out with the N7, and that was probably the first combine had 12 over head.
I mean, I remember when I was young, when deer come out of the 9600, that was like a
Yeah.
monster combine.
I went and demoed one. They had a demo. Mark Beam had one over there, 9500. Because they're getting ready to buy one. I rode in a N5 or R5, whatever it was. Man, there just ain't much comparison. The feeder house, you can see behind the feeder house so much easier. The feeder house as far as the John Deere controls. Man, that's a nice combine. That's what we bought.
Well, if this thing's a turd, I'm getting you a 9500 or 9600.
One John Deere. They're John Deere. Let's just one of the blue ones.
X9.
All right, so just got back from lunch. Picked up Emmy. What do you think of the combine?
I like it.
You ready to drive it? All right, get in her. Didn't even hesitate. Oh, it smells new in here, Emmy.
What's your pocket knife in there?
Oh man, there's our free hats. Well, there we go. We're driving. Is this exciting, Emmy?
Yes.
It is?
Mm-hmm. Well, not really, because I've rode in a tractor before.
Emmy, you can tell Dax you got to sit in the combine before he did. What do you think, Bob? Guess you got to sit in it before you did.
I got milkshake on.
Oh. Yeah, Emmy was in it before you were. You want to go check it out?
And that's what.
What?
Did Z and Pep always have like combines? I
Yeah.
have zero combines.
Wait, what?
I did the combine.
Why you, what? Since me and Pap already have a combine and you have 0 combines. Is that what you said? I don't know, bub.
Hello? Wait, the winner.
Yep. About forgot something very important. Dax, don't hit any buttons. Just sit down.
Yeah, let me. Yeah. Hit the ball. Yeah, that's coughing on my butt.
Oh no! The first of many coffee stains, I'm sure.
You have to pay for a tractor to make it be yours. Tell you something. It's not fair. You did 2, and I did 0.
Alright, so first thing we're going to start doing with this combine, going to get the cardboard out of it, the books, look through some of the packaging in there, and then we've got a Midland, not a CB, a Midland GMRS radio. We're We got our toolbox to put in there. We got an ag cam to put in there. Just all the little things. What's the matter there, dude? How'd you get stuck? All right, you coming up with me? If you grab my coffee? Perfect. All right. Let's see what all we got in here, Dak. Man, they give you quite the manual case. I hope that means you never have to use it. Because if I have to use it, it ain't staying in there very often. And there it is. There's the book. You see the book?
Yeah.
Can you read it?
Let's see.
Okay, there's the manual. It's not actually attached to the binder. The binder is just kind of a nice touch. She's pretty new. I went ahead and ran the auger out on it. Just because one thing I don't like about the Gleaner, I don't mind the auger when it's out, but you can't access the side shields unless you do that on this side. So you kind of have to remember to leave your auger out at night. And luckily this barn has a tall ceiling, because when that thing swivels, it goes up pretty high and then down into that cradle. Let's see if I can remember how to open this. There we go. Well, there it is. Fancy. Okay. Alright, so let's check out the power plant of this beast. There she is. I don't even remember how many cylinders the engine is, to be real honest with you folks. So when we were doing our purchasing, I was pretty up to snuff on what kind of stats we had here, but I really don't even remember the horsepower rating now. I think it's 375 horse. I want to say it's a, oh shoot, what engine is it? It's an AGCO engine. I just can't remember what it is now. One thing we do have on this one, a greaser. Pretty excited about that. So this is the first combine we've ever had with that option. I always said we wanted one, but Dad was always too cheap, and we figure it'll probably be worth it. So went ahead and got it on the Gleaner. Now, if you don't know how a Gleaner combine works, it's a completely different design than our Kloss or a conventional rotor machine. So on a Gleaner combine, they are built more for simplicity and long-term cost of ownership. So one of Gleaner's big selling points is that over time, the cost of ownership on a Gleaner combine is going to be cheaper than any other combine. It's a lot cheaper to rebuild a Gleaner than it is a Kloss, which is part of the reason why we went with this. We like our Kloss combines. In my opinion, they are the best corn-eating combine you're going to find. And even that one, it's a 2014. There's not a lot of combines today that are going to have the capacity of that class size as that machine. But cost of ownership is starting to get a little high on them. So that's why we went with the Gleaner. So the way the Gleaner works, it's pushing all this grain, or taking in everything into this feeder house, running it into a rotor back here, and instead of a rotor running lengthways of the machine like a John Deere or like a case, it actually lays in there sideways, almost like a cylinder, but it's spiraling that crop through it like a rotor, not like a cylinder. And then the crop comes over here, or the plant material does, and comes out the back of the machine. There's a chopper right there, hits this spinner, and goes shooting off into the abyss. Now I'm a little rusty, but that's a very, very rough and quick explanation of how the Gleaner combine works compared to our Kloss. So our Kloss, it brings the material into the feeder house. Now the feeder house is huge on a Kloss, a lot bigger. It goes into a drum right there called the APS. That's where some of your threshing takes place. After it goes to the APS drum, it goes into your cylinder drum, which is where the large majority of your threshing takes place. After that, it gets spit into an impeller. Your impeller, I don't think your impeller is really threshing. It's more or less just scooting material back. Once it hits the impeller then puts it into 2 rotors. So there's actually 2 rotors lengthways in the back of this machine. And after that, you're done separating. And if you still have corn on the cob after it goes through all that, you need to adjust your settings. And if that's the case, if you still can't get it, it ain't coming off there. Like I said, the Colossus are corn-eating machines. I have no gripes with them whatsoever, especially in corn. In beans, they could do a little better. The older ones, the newer ones, seem to be pretty good on beans as well. But like I say, cost of ownership is kind of where we're at with the Gleaner. That's why we went that route. Now I know a lot of people give that auger some crap, but that's a very big auger, and it's actually got a higher unload rate than that auger when it was new. So for a long time, Gleaner I think was #2 in unload rate. Now they're probably not anymore. As the industries went forward, a lot of combines can unload faster, but I believe it's still at 4 bushels per second. I think this Colossus was at 3.6.
Dad, do you make weapons?
Do I make weapons?
Yeah.
No, are you making a spear?
Yeah, I'm trying. I am doing it.
Wife got the kids a Discovery Channel subscription, so apparently Dax has been watching some survival shows. Anyways, but yeah, it still has a very good unload rate. The auger, it actually shoots it out of there pretty far. I know last year when we were demoing one, BJ would get way too close. Like right now, that grain is going to come shooting out of that auger pretty far. Like the tractor does not have to be right over top of that auger when running the cart. Yeah, guys, there's the combine. One thing I didn't really realize, it has smaller tires. It has 520s. The options were 480s or 520s. Knew that when we ordered it. For some reason, I was thinking our machines had 520s. They actually have 620s. So the tires are quite a bit bigger on our older machines. But the weight that these tires are carrying is quite a bit less. So I don't think it's really going to matter. In fact, I don't even think you can get factory tracks with a Gleaner. They're very lightweight. Now some LSWs would look pretty cool in there. Like if anyone's watching, hint hint. But yeah, the 520s will be fine for now. One other thing that's going to be pretty nice about this machine, it has a 385 bushel tank, whereas our older combines have 330 bushel tanks. So that'll be also pretty nice. Hey guys, this is the next day. I actually experienced a little bit of audio issues with the camera, and my last clip had no sound, so here we just stop back over here. But that was the end of the video. Basically, I was just saying that we did get a 9340 AGCO Draper head for this combine. It's sitting over there. We'll go over that whenever we get hooked up to it here in the next day or so. And we also got a folding 12-row Capella coming for it, so it'll be pretty interesting to see how the Gleaner handles a folding 12-row. We also still have the other folding 12-row, so I guess we'll be able to run a lot of corn really fast and then wait on trucks for an hour. But that's pretty much the end of the video. Let us know what you guys think. Who do you think is going to be running it, me or Dad? That seems to be the main question everyone keeps asking. But we'll find out pretty soon. Don't forget to thumbs up the video and leave us a comment. We'll see you in the next one.